proposed bill in the state of Florida would require any blogger who writes about the Florida government to register with the state, which is a clear violation of the First Amendment. But that doesn't mean anything to this yucklehead right here. This is, why don't you pick up with Mr. Broder, who, I don't know, maybe he never took civics, maybe he's never read a book, but he comes up with this idea that if you are a blogger and you criticize the governor, or you criticize the cabinet, or you talk about some bad thing happening in Florida politics, that by golly, you need to register, and you need to tell every time you tell the story, tell them about the story you told. This is crazy. I can't even say it. It's this goofball, Broder, really believes that this is possible in America in 2023. Hell, maybe it is. What do you think?
Well, anything is possible, unfortunately, and that's the really terrifying part about this, because 2 years ago, we would look at a story like this. It's not even going to make it to the floor for a vote, but now with everything we've seen, who knows? I mean, this could be the next big challenge at the Supreme Court, but this legislation that Mr. Broder here put forward late last week basically says, listen, if you're a blogger, which they don't even clearly define blogger.
It's so vague.
But it certainly applies to anyone.
Are we bloggers because we do a show?
I think technically we would fall under that category because...
Hey, can I announce right now, we're going to be your first test case because we're not going to do a damn thing that passes in this legislation. We're going to test the case. Go ahead and pass it. Let's see how you do with it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what you would have to do, what we would be legally required to do is every month on the 10th of the month, we would have to submit a report, each and every one of us, listing the title of the story we did, when it was published, where it was published, and how much we were paid to write that story or to do that video.
Like somebody pays us.
Right, which would include, any YouTube revenue, Facebook revenue. Because what they want to do is try to say that bloggers, and he actually said this in an interview, bloggers are basically lobbyists who lobby with their words.
Okay, so I see this goofy stare on this guy right here. I can see him saying, yeah, this is a good idea.
Well, it's gotten so bad that even Newt Gingrich, Mr. Contract with America, came out over the weekend and had to say, listen, this is his word, insane.
Yeah.
What these Republicans are doing in the state of Florida has gotten so bad that the old guard, Newt Gingrich, has come out and said, you guys are insane. What is happening here is not normal. You can't do this.
We expect this from Trump. Yeah. Okay? It's nutcrackery, man. Yeah. Donald Trump actually won a legal victory recently when a court ordered adult film star Stormy Daniels to pay the former president more than $120,000. If I look at this story, the number is like almost $600,000 when it's all over, isn't it?
Yeah, because she had previous judgments where she had to pay because she filed, in my opinion, a very stupid
it was a terrible
lawsuit.
Whoever advised the lawyer that filed that should have was that Avenatti.
I was going to say, who was her lawyer?
He's in prison, right? The guy's in prison.
So yeah, I mean, and plus we know Avenatti stole tons of money from her as well. Yeah. Not to mention all his disabled clients. But anyway, bad advice because she had claimed that a security guard, I guess, at Trump Tower kind of manhandled her a little bit. And Trump called her a liar. So she gets the legal advice to say, oh my God, I'm going to sue you for defamation because you said I'm lying about this particular story.
All this was about with Avenatti. Nobody knew who he was. Yeah. He knew, we're in California, that's kind of, where they might have known.
California and New York.
New York. They kind of, oh yeah, I know this guy. He's always kind of bottom feeding. So this was his big shot. He was going to build his name with Stormy Daniels. I'm going to handle this case. Any idiot lawyer would have looked at that case and said it's dead on arrival. So when Trump's lawyers make the argument to the judge knows the same thing we're talking about. This is a ridiculously frivolous lawsuit. First of all, she's a public figure. Second of all, this does not get to where you need to go on a defamation case. And so now she's been bombarded with $600,000 in money that she's had to pay back, or going to have to pay back.
Yeah, so, all of the money that she ended up getting paid for the hush money payment is 100% gone.
Yeah.
So I assume she's obviously made plenty of other money off of the exposure from this. I don't know if it rises to the level of what she now owes this buffoon, but to me, this really does all come back to Avenatti.
Oh, it does.
He had to have been the only lawyer in the country that would look at this and say, oh, he said you're lying? Great, let's sue him.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to go on MSNBC 100 times because of this lawsuit, because that's what it was.
And the stories, what really makes me cringe is the Democrats were talking like this is our Democratic presidential candidate. Remember that?
It was going to be him or Andrew Cuomo.
Him or Cuomo. And so Avenatti, we find out, well, yeah, he did all that stuff, but he also stole millions of dollars from his clients. One was paralyzed, paralyzed in a wheelchair, stole their money, stole money after money from his own clients. And what bothered me is that information was out there. At the same time, when you had these dopes saying, oh, yeah, hell yeah, he's a Democratic contender.
He's a fighter. Oh, look, we can put him up against Trump. He'll win in 2020.
How does that happen, man? Well, it happened here, didn't it? Happened with this numbnut.
And a lot of it, just like Trump was a creation of the media, Avenatti was a creation of the corporate media. How many times did Avenatti get to go on CNN and MSNBC?
Yeah.
I mean, it is countless. It dwarfs anything that we've ever
not
seen.
one question from an MSNBC or CNN reporter said, well, let's back up. All this is already existing. We know this history that you have. Not one time did they ask this bottom feeder punk a question about that, because it was the sale. We're going to sell Avenatti as the answer to Donald Trump. It's disgusting to me. I mean, it's almost like, aren't we always looking for a hero? Isn't that, I mean, both parties do it. They did it with him. Democrats do, my God, every time somebody flashes a smile, they go crazy. This is the great American hero for the Democrats.
Well, that's the Democrats will pick anybody that can string a sentence together and say he's the next nominee. You know, it's been Buttigieg, who has just been a disaster in office. It's been Avenatti. It was Andrew Cuomo.
How about? Well, I'll tell you one thing that's encouraging. As you know, I practiced law with Bobby Kennedy for a lot of years, and he and I tried cases together. We did television together. We did radio together. But Bobby Kennedy's been a long time friend. He's going to run for president. Okay, so there may be, let's take a look and see what the background is.
Yeah.
Let's see what this guy's accomplished. It's remarkable what he's accomplished. If you're going to make somebody a hero, take a look at where they come from and what they've done.
Right, and I will say, look, I mean, I disagree with Bobby on the vaccine stuff, on the medical side of all of that.
I do too.
But obviously his environmental record, that's impeccable. You can't touch that. Yeah. So it's the one part for me is insanely disappointing.
Yeah, it is me too. But the point I'm trying to make is do your homework.
Yeah.
Don't have this nut job show up day one and all of a sudden he's the Republican hero.
Right.
Or Avenatti show up day two and he's the Democratic hero. This search for a hero is killing us.
It is.